reached out to me, said make a theme song for my show. Said alright, just give me all the details, man. And my homie says he don't know. Well, if you're gonna pay me big bucks, guess I might should have something to say. He said, you know what I bring, I'm the customizing king, nothing else matters anyway. So is he gonna have guests? I don't know. Is he gonna go live? I don't know. What time will it be? What will you see? I'm pretty much in the dark, but I can guarantee he'll be customizing action figures, getting paint all on his fingers. It's art by Ackerman. It's art by Ackerman. Tips and tricks and conversation, sharing his gift with every nation. It's art by Ackerman. Art by Ackerman. You best get ready, cause now it's time for Art by Ackerman.
All right, welcome back to another Customizing Studio. This is episode 5, the redo. We were supposed to have episode 5 last week, but I had something come up and wasn't able to. But we are here today. I got Jay with me right now. Jay, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
Wait. Am I sideways again?
You are, but that's fine.
I fixed it though. I'm gonna mess around with that.
All right. We may have Alan joining us in a bit as well. We'll see if anybody else pops in. I know Tanya said she wasn't able to make it. She had a hockey game today. I hope she does well and checks a bunch of people into the boards. So,
Me too.
Let's see who we got out there. We got Freaks Figures in the chat. Welcome, sir. Hope you're feeling better. We got William Husted out there. Yep, Sunday afternoon. Might as well make something. Yep. And Jay is in the chat and on screen. So,
am I? Interesting. I'm gonna log off and back in because if I do this through Explore, I've been doing this through Facebook, and that is the reason why this has been sideways. But
okay.
So I'll be there in 1 sec.
Sounds good. And just like that, Jay leaves and Alan's here. What's up, Alan?
Hello.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm recovering. I had a super epic D&D session yesterday, which was we started playing at 11 a.m. And finished at 2 a.m.
Oh wow!
But we got
that is definitely a long session.
We got a number of episodes filmed, so that's good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you're working on today, Alan.
I'm going to be painting my Umber Hulk.
Very cool.
Which is, I sculpted the head and the hands for him. It's on a mythic troll. And they're painted the way that I want pretty much. But I've got to get the troll blended in, and I'm going to change out his loincloth.
Nice. I really love those lower arms on that. That came out awesome.
Well, to get them on was kind of a trick because there's just not much left after you take off the bracer.
Yeah.
So I made a plug out of foam to put into his wrist, make it longer, and then to slide this on over top.
Gotcha. Well, it looks great. So we got Eric Miller joined us in the chat. Says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Eric.
Good afternoon.
And we got Jay back. So Jay, what you got going on today?
Am I still sideways? This is ridiculous.
You are.
So fine. I have a few things. I got at Zolo Con yesterday. I got this painting system that if anybody saw on the Cabal, Ben Wright from Borderland Horde had put together. So it is. Oh, this magnet's already stuck. Well, it's a modular system. So you can put, for instance, a pauldron in this, right, to paint it, and it just kind of move it around.
We're not seeing it on screen.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay, so you can move it around, and then there is. So this one fits a pauldron there, and I haven't really gotten to use it yet. I painted it for some reason. Like I came home from ZoloCon with a bunch of stuff. And what I did with it was paint the thing that was designed to help me paint.
Nice.
It seemed like it would be fun. So this is what I have now. And it has these incredibly strong magnets, and one of them is apparently stuck in here.
Oh,
like
all right.
So basically, it's got a magnet here and one in there, but this came off and went in. because I'm not great with glue. So we'll see how this turns out.
And so it's different attachments to hold different parts for
Yeah,
legions.
right. So you've got one that's bigger for an ogre-sized head. You've got two that are for pauldrons, and two smaller pieces for heads.
Hmm.
And then there are two of these that you can just put something in there and then close it, and it holds it tight.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's the STL. What's amazing about this? So these STL files he's giving away for free. So anybody who's interested in printing them, you just have to contact him, I guess, to get the files. He does have a bunch that he's printed that he's going to send out. I don't know how many he has. You would have to pay for the whatever. Essentially, you would pay to cover whatever it costs him to print it. I don't know if he'd be mailing it with magnets or not, from what I understand. And somebody else in the Cabal was also saying that they printed it. If you search Ben Wright, you should be able to
Mhm.
find the other person who said he was printing it. That's how I found it. But that person said that it's more expensive to ship with magnets. So I'm working on that. I'm going to test this out. I've got this Velociped from Detour Customs that I
Mhm.
painted. I don't know if it's easy to see right now. I kind of see the green. So I
Yeah.
want to detail that a bit. And I finally got to my first Charbot from Brian Lynn. And this thing is amazing. I've had this primed for a very long time, and I didn't really know what to do with it because it's so cool and unique. I had a decent idea, so I'm gonna do some detailing on that. And then I've got head sculpts and stuff and some pieces from Zolicon that I'm gonna work on. But I guess I'll probably just show as I bring them up because there's a bunch of stuff here.
Okay. Well, I will try to embiggen myself real quick. I also have a fancy painting system, and it's these sticks with blue tack on the end.
All
So,
right.
yeah. And then for things with smaller holes, I've got smaller sticks with blue tack at the end. So, yeah, that's my fancy setup. Um, today I will be working on. I'm going to do a little bit more work on this green for this Kitsune Ranger, and then I have this white and blue that I'm working on for the Samurai Kitsune. And I'll probably be trying out this new Vallejo Gold that I haven't used yet. Glorious Gold. I'm not a big Vallejo fan, but I saw Rick Emmert was using this in the Cabal on a torso that he did, and it came out looking fantastic. So I want to try that gold. I think
Which
that's
gold is it?
this
I'm sorry.
glorious gold from
Glorious
Vallejo.
gold.
Yeah, normally I'm not a Vallejo fan, but the one that he did looked fantastic. So
I know this about you.
I know. Um, let's see. Alexander Deshaw, Drunk Gizmo Customs popped in, said, "Howdy, boys and girls. How's it going?"
Hello, hello.
Hey,
And then
Alex.
Freaks came in and said, "Currently outside organizing my trailer, getting overwhelmed. Anyone in Michigan want to come steal from me so I can get rid of some things?" So there you go, an offer to steal from Freaks. So
What's in there?
that's a good question. Uh, Eric says he's very much a Vallejo fan. Uh, I do you paint with a dry palette? That would be my next question. That's always my question if anybody says they like Vallejo. Because typically I do not find that people that use a wet palette like Vallejo. It's more the cavemen that use the dry palette. So
Well, I use both, so I don't mind Vallejo. I also, it's fine on a wet palette until the next time you open the wet palette is the
yeah, which
problem I
is
find. So I just used a little bit on the wet palette the day that you can't really mix with it if you want to. I think that they
huh.
have really, really good pigment. So that's one of the reasons I really like their paint.
Eric said he does use a wet palette. I'm kind of surprised by that.
What's the secret?
It's a good question because most people that I find that like Vallejo don't use a wet palette because they find that it gets too because it already starts out kind of runny, and that makes it even more runny. So yeah, that is interesting.
Well, my new favorite paint for a wet palette is Army Painter. So because that doesn't get runny and also has really great pigment, I found.
Gotcha.
Did Alan walk away?
Well, I'm in the room,
Okay.
and I walked away. So both are true.
Yes.
I'm wondering if I have any more 5-minute epoxy putty. And if I do, I'm going to make a hump on his back. But if I don't, then I think I'm just going to say he's good as is. But I found some, so now I'm going to epoxy putty.
Great, because I want to see that happen.
So now he's going to have posture issues.
Yeah, he's going to get like some armor on his back.
Ah, gotcha.
Oh, I mean, any posture issues I can relate to. So,
I assume there's a certain amount of stooping that happens in the Underdark because the caverns can be short.
it's fair.
Eric says, Army Painter, Fanatics paints are good, but their old formula is more like Elmer's glue than paint.
I've only used the newer formula, so I guess I wouldn't know. I'm a big fan. They have the system in which you get, like it shows the different shades. So there's, I guess, 5 different shades. So like this is the magenta, for instance, and the pinks and the magentas, because that's my thing, are amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have the, you know what else I like? And this is just jumping. Vallejo Air. The Mecca paint, you don't have to thin this, is actually really great on a brush. I realized, and this is this paint is really awesome. So but you have to put some sort of a flat, like a matte finish on it. It's a little shiny. You don't need a wet palette, so that escapes your problem.
There you go.
Bypasses. All right.
The trolls look very sumo without their little skirts on.
I can see that.
Kind of like he's wearing a little thong happening.
Huh. Sorry, go ahead. I
think he has a right to wear whatever he wants.
Of course,
For sure.
yes. As long as it's appropriate for public when he's in public. Also, who's going to fight a troll, really?
Williams says, I looked for wet palettes at Michael's the other day and couldn't find them. Did I miss something or did I need to go to Amazon? I always get mine from Amazon. I get this one, this Masterson's one. It's like, I don't know, 12, 15 bucks, something like that. So
they have those at Michael's for sure. It's like
Eric says you can make them though. I mean, it's just basically a sponge in a container. So yeah, you can make it. I don't know. It's just easy for me to just grab one off of Amazon.
Michael's usually has it underneath the paints. There's like a row of paint under there. You also go to Michael's and just order online to pick up, which is how I buy everything from Michael's. So I don't have to do anything.
I did that until there was a couple times where they grabbed the wrong thing. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
One time somebody grabbed my order, and I mean, these things happen, but the people at Michael, there were like 2 people there and they had no idea what was going on. And it took it was the last of the paint that I wanted, but it took them a long time to rectify the situation. And that was super annoying. But that's like one time out of like probably 90.
Well, it's a good thing Tanya didn't show up today because she'd be ranting about Michael's right now.
She would, but it's not, I'm not talking about automatic checkout though. So it's different. I don't know how she feels about ordering ahead for pickup.
No, she won't buy it all from him because of the whole, self-checkout.
But like everything has self-checkout, no? I mean, here.
Yeah, but they didn't have another option. That was like the only option was self-checkout.
Oh, there are multiple options. By me. I'm not. Yeah.
Like there was even somebody, I guess the incident that in question, there was somebody that was there that wouldn't check her out. They're like, well, I'll show you how to use the self-checkout. She's like, no, if you're here, you can just check me out. And the lady's like, well, I'm not able to do that. And it's like, okay, well, then I won't buy here.
Well, that is. See, they have people who do that by me. That sounds like a really poor management on that,
Yeah. It sounds like it is a location thing rather than a company thing.
I mean, there's one by me that opened recently, and it's very small. And I'm not sure if you can check out in person there, or if you can, but I don't know if they really have anybody there ever. But there's one that's been around forever, and that has a huge line for. Sometimes I want to do self checkout actually, and I can't because they just say next, and I don't want to be rude and say I don't want to talk to a person right now. Thank you very much. I just want to leave and do this. So I wind up having to, and it takes some more time.
I don't want to talk to a person right now.
I don't. I mean, I'm exaggerating, obviously, to be funny, but sometimes I don't. If I have two things in my hand, I just want to,
I totally get you.
go. Yeah. And then I'm like, hi, how are you? Good. How are you? I'm very tired.
See, I don't try the whole small talk thing. I just,
Oh, well, they started.
I do the whole thank you when I'm done, but I don't do any of the small talk.
No, I just try to be polite in return for the small talk. So yeah, this one guy at this place, every single time I get paint or anything, is like, "Oh, what project are you working on today?" Like, well, I'm making custom action figures. He's like, "Cool, tell me about that." And I was like, "No, I want to go home and do it with good things. I just bought this stuff. Like, I'm not here to tell you about that."
Oh, that's great.
I can't find my white paint. Oh, here we go. So I got a lot of cool stuff yesterday, which was I got all this cool stuff. The one thing I didn't get was a female warrior figure that was sold out immediately, which is okay because what I actually really came for and wanted the most was this, and I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to get that. I'll get it eventually. I don't know if I'm.
So I kind of love cash register small talk because, like, normally I'm buying interesting things for work, and I'm able to, like, what are you going to do with all these dolls? Well, I got to drill their eyes out, and yeah, I mean, just it's a good time to explain what I do, but also freak them out.
This tracks really, really well as.
I'm gonna carve the head off of this thing.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Right. So it's a chance for interesting conversation with strangers.
I would love that if I was working at the whatever place you're at that you are harassing people with your description of your job.
Meg says that she doesn't like going out in public, so self-checkout is her preferred option. Freak says, what irritates me about self-checkout is when I only have a couple things and people in front have full carts. Yeah.
Correct. Right.
Yes. And then she says, having said that, my understanding of staff in America is there's a lot of talking, overly friendly chat. I don't really see that happening here. I think that feels very regional. I think there's certain areas of the country where you're probably going to get a lot of friendly chat, and other areas where they're just going to give you a death stare. So
no, you get it in Texas.
It really depends, I think, on the worker, unlike the people who work there, and the level, the age of the person, and the level of where they are in the hierarchy of the store itself. Because if you get you get a manager in there, they're gonna do everything they can to set an example for their employees by being super friendly. And if you get like somebody who literally just got their working papers, and they're whatever, like 16, or they don't really even know how to speak to an adult very well. That sometimes, but you know what I mean.
So I've never felt more like I lived in a communist country than when you just said when they get their working papers.
I know I said that, and I realized that was not the phrase that I wanted to use.
First, you get in the bread line, and then you'll go get your working papers.
I don't know if that's what it's called when you become legally, whatever age. I don't. Did you have to go?
Work permit.
Work permit. Thank you. I remember getting my work permit, but
hold on. Wait a minute. What's a work permit?
If you're in certain areas, if you're like under a certain age, you have to get a work permit in order to work. So like in Missouri, you can get a job at 16, but if you're 15 and a half and you have a work permit, you can get a job early.
Right. And there are certain jobs in New York that you can, like if you want to have like a paper route, for instance, you can do that. I think I believe in middle school. I think I was in 7th grade. I got a work permit. I remember sitting in the guidance office to get it. And it's the only time I remember ever being in the guidance office in my middle school, quite frankly. So clearly they were not useful. But yeah, that paper route wasn't fun.
My high school guidance counselor told me that I should become a roustabout. And that is a person who unloads crates at a dock.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Sure it's a noble profession.
It sounds like they were underestimating you a bit, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Maybe I don't test well.
I don't remember what my high school guidance counselor's name was, what they looked like, if it was male or female. I say it, if they were male or female. But I remember what the office looked like, which means I think I was probably in there waiting for them to come in more often than I was talking to them.
They were out guiding people.
Yeah, they're supposed to be in guiding people, but sure. They're super involved. Like now, it seems like my child's guidance counselor is like the stuff that they do to pick out classes and everything. I mean, they're always meeting with guidance.
I think that's because of the level of freedom that young people have now is less. And that, I don't mean that as a dig, but like we used to be able to walk to the store. Now my kids can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also like a lot of schools have like they're tailoring. There are more options in schools that like tailor to different interests.
Oh yeah.
Now than there used to be. So you have to figure out like what your track is going to be like. Because when I was in school, if you want to take an elective, you could just take any other elective, and there was no, well, if you take this, then you can take the next step in this, and then if you take 3 of these, courses, then you have like a background in, photography or whatever, and you just did it. And now it's sort of like they have like if you want, you can, do like a track in, I don't know, whatever things they have going on, like fashion and. A ton of video stuff that, and online stuff that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got this yesterday from Anthony Hasil, and it is this really great 1.0 dragon head sculpt.
Hold on, I'm begging you. Go ahead.
So I can't believe I'm still sideways. I gotta fix this. I might have to leave and fix this again. But this is awesome because you never see 1.0 sculpts. It's kind of out of focus, right? Never really see 1.0 sculpts like this, so I was really happy to find it.
You mean 2.0 or?
I'm so sorry. Yes, 2.0.
Okay.
So I was going to make this a Lockheed because every time I have a dragon, I paint it purple to make like a Lockheed out of it. But I realized that I have this that was finished, but I was using a 1.0 head on it, and this is going to fit like really nicely.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to dry brush this, and then I'm going to dry brush this on top of that with pink. Actually, probably not that much pink. This actually might have too much white. But then in the end, it's going to have like the same highlights as this. The white will look like that pink. And then all the black will look like that green. And then I can finally say I'm done with this.
That is
bizarre figure.
Beautiful paint, man. Like the paint on that is just gorgeous.
Thank you. It's a really, really cool paint. It's a lot of fun when you just painting something in 2 colors, and then when you spray it with this paint, watching it's almost like invisible ink or something like that. Just watching the 2 colors come out, like it's a lot of fun. And it's interesting to paint a figure like that, knowing that it's going to kind of be separate, I guess. I don't like just planning. Like if you're doing actual like this, which happens to be here, like this is pink. Well, I knew that was going to happen. This here is pink and purple. So this was just white and black and just kind of separating the parts, knowing that, what it would look like is kind of a lot of fun to plan that way.
We did have Twizzler popped in, but he says he's getting ready to go play in D&D. So hi and soon bye.
Yeah, have fun.
I'm jealous, Twizzler. I really, talking about this yesterday. I really miss playing D&D. I'm very excited for the game, but I need to find a party. Talking about doing something local around here, but
I mean, you're close to Trevor and Stefan.
yeah, that's what we were
Talk
talking
them into
about.
putting something together.
Yeah, well, we were. That's who I went to Zolicon with. So yeah, that would be great to play in person, but I miss making. I can't wait to get the full. Like they're the two books, and there's the one book that's like the basic, and then there's the core book, right?
Yeah.
That has. So I can't wait to see the core book and see how far you could go, beyond just the basic things that we've seen so far. Because I really want to make a really strange character and see how it works within
I'm
this world.
shocked.
I know. Well, I mean, I just want to do something like I was talking to Trevor. He said like a vampire fighter. Is that right? When he plays with
I can't remember. I thought he was a vampire ranger, but I'm not positive.
that might be it. I don't, yeah, I understand he was a vampire. So I'm interested in like what it would be like to be a vampire or a skeleton and then be like a wizard, but be like not be in a faction, not be an evil faction, which is kind of what he said he's doing. I just don't know, you said you've never played D&D before this, right, Curtis?
Not before we started Legion's Quest, but I mean that's been going on for 2+ years now. So
When you started, do you choose chaotic, like chaotic neutral, chaotic good? Or is it different
well,
because it's in this world?
when we started with Legion's Quest, we had to look at that stuff because we were playing by D&D rules, but with
Yeah.
this you don't.
Yeah,
This
so
that is replaced by factions in the RPG.
see, that's what I'm curious about. So I like to be chaotic neutral, but I wonder how that would work out in the RPG.
Like it's kind of like if you were Red Star or Noble Bear, to where you're not really good or bad, you're kind of neutral, or
So it's
whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting because I know less about the lore, but in my mind, Red Star are basically bad in general, and Noble
Well,
Bear are
they're
basically good. Maybe that's at the
They-
end
Is
of
that
the
is
story.
that because Noble Bear feels more human, and
Well,
you
Well,
have a
they fight.
racial bias towards?
Red Star is more kind of like mercenaries, like
Yeah.
they're doing stuff for money, whereas Noble Bear is just kind of like they're doing their own thing and don't want to be tied
But
down to one group.
but at the end, they
So
fight. They fight the Dark Four, right? And
we
the
don't really know
mercenaries
yet.
they are murderers, right? Like, so it seems like there is evil and good there. I guess
Yeah.
that would be. I'll probably wind up being in the I mean, I'll be in one of them. But
I mean, it depends. Like if you're a mercenary, sometimes you're going to be working for good people, and sometimes you're going to be working for bad people.
yeah, but you don't get to choose, right? So you still are
No,
good. Yeah, you still have the I don't. I mean, I don't really care if my characters murdered people.
but like sometimes somebody may be hiring you to protect somebody or go find somebody that's missing. Sometimes they may be hiring you to go and murder someone. So
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really excited to see how that works. Because my favorite characters have ever been have all been like very chaotic and just a lot of. Trevor said maybe we can play together, and I was like, you should know that I tend to make a large mess of things when I roll nat ones because I try to do very, very.
Last night, I saw the worst rolling I've ever seen in a D&D game.
Really?
oh yeah,
One person on D20, they rolled
Uh-huh.
2 ones in a row,
wow.
and another person rolled 2 ones at the same time.
Well,
I bet a nat 1 was the most common roll yesterday.
there was a show on Nat 20 that I love. That was a bunch. The entire show was like, the idea, I guess, was like, what if D&D was also like the Breakfast Club? And there was a bunch of kids in high school, and they all had like, there was a rich kid, and there was like the best kid was a bard, right? So she was a bard. She was half demon. She was trying to find her demon father. She played bass. and her idol was Les Claypool from Primus. And it was such a crazy character. And it was
Hmm.
so. Have you seen that, Alan? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh
Is
my
it
God, it was
is it in
great.
a fantasy world?
It's in a fantasy world, yeah. But well, it's like a take on a fantasy world. They
But
modernize
there's
it, obviously.
but there's Primus.
Yeah, it's like it's a take on a fantasy world, but they take plenty of liberties because she plays
Yeah,
electric bass.
I don't
But
I don't necessarily. Uh, I'm not a
no,
huge fan of urban fantasy.
got
Hmm.
it. I don't think it. Well, yeah, I guess it was suburban fantasy. I haven't seen it in a long time. I just remember it being very funny and just like surprising, I guess.
I think that I, like you, don't think we like the same things.
Well, maybe not all the same things.
Yeah, that's true. We are both making action figures.
Guess I like when people subvert norms sometimes, and it's kind of funny to me.
Let's see. Meg says she's excited for the RPG game because she thinks there will be lore in the rule book. And then when the actual lore book comes out, I'm looking forward to having more of the story. Yeah, I mean, the RPG is going to flesh out some things like names of like rivers and mountains, and I think we're going to get to see more of kind of like the civilian life rather than the fighters, the armies. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think like people, I guess like the beginner's book, if people buy that and they want to read it to find out lore, what they're going to do accidentally without realizing if they're not like tabletop players, they're
Mhm.
going to wind up spoiling the first adventure for themselves is what I that's what that Trevor said something like that. And I believe he was talking about the first book. So if you
Yeah,
do,
there's like oh gosh, what's it called? Um Not a mission, but it's basically the book that
One shot?
allows. What's that?
Is it a one
Yeah.
shot?
Yeah, and it like goes through like what kind of gives guidelines for the DM or GM on how they should run it and like what things are going to happen. So if you are a player and you read it, it's going to kind of spoil some of the information that's going to come up.
yeah.
So
Only if the DM like goes by. I've never run a one shot, by the book.
yeah.
Are you DM, Alan?
Yeah.
You must be an incredible DM.
Well, that's very kind. I love to play, but I also enjoy DMing. I think part of making things is being a storyteller of one kind or another.
Sure.
I realized last night I played D&D for we started at 11:30 a.m. and we finished at 2 a.m. So we played for a long time. But this was for a YouTube channel, so we shot a few seasons.
That's awesome.
And
15 hours for anybody trying to do the math in their head.
a few sessions, let's say. And
I would love to do that.
yeah, it was kind of cool to take a day aside and do it. And this was a little bit more of a production, so there were people who were kind of just like waiting on us to play, which I felt weird pressure there. Like there were people who were making food, and there was all that. So
It was live?
it was live. So it was streamed live on a Patreon, but then there will be the edited because no one wants to watch 15. Maybe some people do want to watch 15 hours, but there will be edited runs of the play also. This is Sword Beast Studios, which is another company that I'm involved with. My company is Stilt Beast Studios. Sword Beast is kind of our nerd version.
That's great.
Because the other version was not nerdy.
Well, the other one is Haunted House, more Haunted House professionals.
Mhm.
So it has some nerdy layover, but
nerdy layover.
Yeah.
So what happens if you're a nerd and your flight gets delayed?
Right. Yeah.
The
Well,
other way, yeah.
that's if you have to hang out with some other kind of nerd culture. Like you're a D&D player, but you have to hang out in a manga store.
There you go.
That's a nerd layover.
Can I ask you a question? That is
Yeah.
sort of, it's like a little bit going back to before, but how long did you play D&D before you started DMing?
Maybe a year.
Wow, interesting. Because I kind of like, I think I would love to DM, but I don't. I mean, I would need. It took me a long time to even. I played Pathfinder, not D&D, but like the overall similar. But
Yeah, and this was very different DMing for me because there's beats that we have to hit,
Yeah.
and this is like being filmed, and someone is making terrain for these games, and because of that, whatever I have to help the players make choices that lead them to this terrain, to this adventure set. And I'm normally much more free than that. Whereas I really let the players will do a lot. So this was a little harder for me.
And this is physical terrain that was made?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I played with like a TV set on its side, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And,
that
was a lot of fun. But I've never played with like real terrain, which that sounds like so much fun. I've seen that stuff for sale, just, not handmade, but when people have like an actual, like a 3D, like a, like a building or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really stoked for this to come out.
You know what? It seems like a lot of people are like we're just launching this D&D channel, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the Mythic Legions role-playing game launched like this last week and immediately like 7 times its ask on Kickstarter is really huge, and it really shows good movement for the TTRPG movement, the energy, the direction of it.
I think that there are some tabletop games that fund like insane. I don't know. Trevor was explaining something to me, and like, man, I don't know a lot about that stuff, but from what he was saying, like nothing funds faster than an RPG, I guess, on Kickstarter.
And I also think that the more the world itself, like the real world, sucks, the more popular fantasy gets.
That's fair. And I'm going to say that it turns out that the magnets that I have here are stronger than the glue I used, which is crazy. So I guess it's time for me to go buy more glue, get better glue.
Got to up your glue game.
Well, I couldn't find the glue that I usually use Tester's glue, and I couldn't find that bottle. So, well. This thing is pretty great though, but the tack I have is, I guess it's been cold in my basement, so it's not really staying very well because it's kind of stiff. I'll try the pauldron.
So this is where I'm at so far on this back.
Mm-hmm.
You see kind of the armored look I'm going for.
That was quick.
Yeah, man. It's wild.
And most of it's hard already. So,
what are you using to sculpt with again?
Steel stick, 5-minute epoxy. It's hang on. With his ski poles. It's right here. You can buy it at Walmart. You can buy it at how's this not in glare? Okay. Steel stick from JB Weld. It's about $6-7 for a tube like this.
6-7.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't not.
Yeah, I respect your decisions.
I mean, listen, I saw G yesterday, so he didn't do it. So
yeah.
Where'd my pauldron go?
Okay, I'm now going to go look through my shop for more of the steel stick because my fear is I'm out and I'm not done with that battery.
All right, so this is the real test with this. Because I don't have any gold with these pauldrons. They just, I guess I painted them for something and not used them, but I find that they are among the more annoying, this is not wet enough, more annoying things to paint
Pauldrons?
and hold. Yeah, they just like they are more likely to kind of, get knocked off the stick. I don't know. It's more awkward to hold. But this is,
I use alligator clips and they work pretty well for pauldrons.
I do too, but I mean, I generally, when I'm painting heads, I use the tops of paint bottles.
Mm.
That was also, there's not anything that I found that I've loved. This is pretty great. I have to try an ogre head with it, but
So, Jay,
yes.
this is the Harbor Freight version of the epoxy putty stick. It's the exact same thing, but this is from Harbor Freight.
So it's just their brand, right? It's like a generic.
It's
Well,
their
not
brand.
generic, it's Harbor Freight. Yeah,
So,
got
It
it.
was
All right, I'm
exactly
gonna remember that because I need to go there anyway to get something.
Harbor Freight is the best.
Yeah.
Unless you
absolutely.
need to buy something that has to spin really fast, then it could kill you.
This is it's exactly, you said this the other time and it just is funny every time.
It's true.
But you only mean a Dremel. You had one bad experience with a Dremel.
No, like,
Oh no, multiple things that
Hey.
spin fast.
yeah, like a grinder, Harbor Freight grinders, they will kill you dead. Pretty
Oh.
great. I also love their heat guns because they have the low Chinese safety standards, and so they get super hot. And if they break just right, they shoot fireballs for a while.
Oh. If they break just right.
Yeah, they get a rattle, and then if they're rattling, you know that when it goes down, it's going to shoot some fireballs, which is really cool. Like you have a gun in your hand that shoots fireballs.
That sounds not what I want, given the fact
Well,
that I use that in my basement. But in other
if you just
situations,
warp something, then the fireballs are too much. But if you're in a mode where you feel like watching fireballs shoot around a room, it's pretty cool.
Like if you're trying to practice your Street Fighter moves.
Yeah, exactly. Your Hadoukens and such.
Yeah, absolutely.
and such.
Yep. I like his armored back.
Cool.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, if you are indecisive, this is probably not the right sculpting material for you. But
Because it dries fast, right?
yeah, you don't have a lot of thinking time. Like even I'll do a piece this big and I'll break it in half in order to use this half of it, and I'll forget that I set this half down, and then I go back to it. It's like really hard and unusable.
Wow.
I could see that being very costly for Jay.
Yes, I would forget about it. But I think if I were to, as far as going in indecisive, my first thought was, okay, that's not for me. So I am indecisive. But if I was to sculpt something, I would not be indecisive. I would be too decisive and probably do something that I may regret. But
I just meant the kind of losing sight of it, even if it's right in front of you, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
no, I know. Oh, 100%. 100%. I could not find things I wanted to paint today, and they were all at my desk, and I couldn't figure out where at my desk each thing was.
I was just looking all over for a piece that I couldn't find, and it was like right in front of my face.
You know, I was telling this story yesterday, but the weirdest thing I've ever lost, and it took me a really long time to find it, was a Beredak, an entire ogre.
Wow.
And it's because
that's
I forgot
great.
that I broke it down with the intention of painting it and separated everything and put it in a box. And the box was right next to my airbrush station, and I never checked it. And it was gone for months. I'd given up. I had thought, like, there were so many theories I had as to where it had gone, and at no point did I remember breaking it up to customize it. But I will say this, as far as saying something useful, the one thing I really like about this is having this to lean on while painting, because I have very shaky hands sometimes, and this steadies it. So I'm kind of looking forward to using this with eyes.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Because I know that for people who do miniatures, that's really common, having something to stabilize your hand. But you can't use it. None of those things work for anything that we paint because it's too, these are too big. So I know that Tanya had said she was wanting to get one of these. To my knowledge, Ben is printing as many as he can to send out. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, those are a great group of guys. Everybody at Borderland. I mean, in our community, everybody's pretty great. A lot of people.
There did appear to be a little bit of drama at ZoloCon.
Right. Well, I changed that to a lot of. There's always a little drama. I mean, things sell out. Exclusives sell out everywhere, all of the time. That's the nature of getting an exclusive at a convention. And I don't know if people are not accustomed to going to conventions like a Comic-Con or something, but like they sell out. You have to wait online and they sell out. It was hard to get into ZoloCon. I had a general admission ticket and you get in at 11. And Steph and Trevor had the VIP ticket and you're supposed to get in at 9. And they got in 20 minutes before we did. And everybody who got in the general admission, because the line was so long, got in through the VIP. They went straight to the Four Horsemen booth. I guess is why it sold out. But you're going to get that figure if you really want it. There are tons of different ways to get it.
Yeah.
Just don't look on eBay right now. That's the one place to not get it.
Good advice.
And also, it's a toy, so just be calm. That's
well, and like right now, I'm buying figures that came out like 20 years ago, and I'm getting them for like $20, because I was waiting on eBay, and I put in a lowball offer, and every now and then somebody takes it.
Yeah. I don't know if that would work for this in 20 years, but who knows?
I bet in 20 years it would.
I'll be honest with you. People can't wait till the next convention, and they're going to buy it for like $150. So they definitely can't wait 20 years.
That's all the people who are upset about, I don't like the Revelations He-Man, or I don't like the cartoon, the CG He-Man. You know what? A new He-Man's coming out in 10 years. Every 10 years is a new iteration of He-Man. Just wait.
Yeah. There's a lot of the toy community has quite a bit of complaining, and maybe that's just the world and not just the toy community, and that's just inevitable. But
yeah, I don't think it's just toys.
Yeah, it's just what we get overexposed to. But it can get to be a bit much.
I think it's extra silly because it's toys.
Yes, I agree with you.
Like, haha, these grown men are arguing over action figures. Let's watch.
Right. And I just want to have fun with them, and I don't want to think too hard about any aspect of the figure. Just want to have it, have fun. That's it.
I love that I have found a community of people who enjoy similar things to what I enjoy. and
Right.
I have appreciation for the work that they do, and they have an appreciation for the work that I do. That's amazing. But if I hadn't found that, I would be in my shop making action figures like I was before I found the community. You know, what I'm doing is for me, and it's not that I hate that, like I have nothing to prove, but I'd like that. There's the stakes are so low in what I do here in my shop. It's silly for in my mind to fight over. I know for some people it's their livelihood. I get that. You know, our hobby is someone else's job. And
Right.
I see that in my work. Like, you need a license in Texas to cut hair, but you don't to build a dark maze and send teenage boys in to wait for teenage girls to come through.
Well,
That's the scariest thing I do. Here, young men, wait in the dark for these young women to walk through and scare them.
that's hilarious. Young men are often very frightened by young women, so
Oh, yeah. But the mask gives them courage.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of folks too that, to your point, Alan, like you gotta do this for yourself, like not for others. There's some people out there that, you know, they don't feel like their stuff for whatever reason is getting as recognized as somebody else's, and like you can't play those games. That's not anything that's going to work out for you. You just
Well,
got
if
to
it
do what
bothers
you
just
want to
make
do.
better stuff.
What's that?
If it bothers you, then you have to make better stuff. You figure out
Maybe.
why their stuff gets recognized, and then you learn from them, and you apply those lessons.
yeah.
Or
maybe
don't let
be-
anybody else dictate, you know, how you feel about what you're doing.
Well,
You
that's
know?
if you're mentally healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, also some of it might just be, quite frankly, how you're posting and when you're posting and where you're posting. That
Yeah.
is a large part of it. Like, took a really long time for me to find a world where the stuff that I make was appreciated and liked, and I spent a long time in worlds where the polar opposite was happening. But this is what I wanted my customs to look like, and I wasn't going to change it. And I figured sometime I'll figure people who I liked it, so somebody else had to. And even when I started posting here, I got some weird comments in Cabal, like, these color system, this is a knight, but it looks more like a cosmic thing that you're posting here. Okay. So I posted it. Just, you don't have to like it. Just skip it. Right.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't take it serious. My feelings weren't hurt. I think one thing that's interesting about toy communities and, you know, people who really like fandoms in general is the idea that everything should match their taste. But why?
Yeah.
What about the people who don't like your taste? There's a lot of stuff that I see that I don't really like that much, and I either like it to be supportive or I'll skip it. I don't know.
So another side quest here, Curtis. I'm seeing shorts from you pop up.
Yeah. I downloaded the Opus clip, and I only did the like beginner version, the $15 version for right now. I'll figured I would try it and see how it goes, and so yeah, I'm putting some of those on there. One of them already had like, I don't know, like 1,200 views or something. So
Yeah.
which, I mean, for me that's
Wow.
pretty good. So
That's awesome. Which
Yeah, that's
one
right.
had 1,200 views? Because I only noticed one up. Because I haven't really
the
been
one
on
with
YouTube.
Bodvar, where I was pulling them out of the package, and the claws were bent a little bit.
That's awesome. Did yours break or just were bent?
No, they were just bent. I just had to heat them up and straighten them out. So
Can't wait to get that guy in hand.
yeah, I'm trying it out, Alan. We'll see how it goes.
Sounds like it's going well.
I mean, it doesn't seem like you know, it's something in and of itself that'll, I don't know, if it just brings people to the channel, that would be great. I don't think that people are going to stay just for that, but if it helps them to find the channel and then they like the other stuff, then that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, with
So.
you have long form content, And long form content, that's normally it. You're gonna build you'll find your shorts end up with a lot more views, but then you'll get 2% of your views will actually join your channel and enjoy your long form content. And while that seems like a very low number, it adds up.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the shorts generate a lot of like comments and stuff. It gets a lot of views, but not a lot of comments. But yeah, like you said, if it brings some, if somebody sees that Bodvar one and then they go, oh, cool, like there's more information in this full video, and then they, watch part of that or all of that, that would be awesome.
And don't be afraid to be clickbaity in your short thumbnails, because like it's a 12-second video. You know what I mean? It's a short video. So
right.
I don't feel bad if I clickbait someone for a short. But again, if they're interested, they're going to come to the other content.
Yeah.
Is there a time of day, or does it depend, you think, on the type of channel to
There
drop a short?
There totally is a time of day. There's also a time of the week. Monday mornings are great. Tuesday mornings are a little better. Friday is normally bad because people are trying to work and then get home. Your YouTube views normally are less on the weekend. Most people, casual people, will watch less YouTube on the weekend. So
That's interesting. I didn't know any of that.
In your analytics, it'll actually tell you where the best time to post is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to view all that. That's all foreign to me.
It's just well, Alan, you explain it. Not me.
Why don't we just jump on a video call sometime, Curtis?
Yeah, that'll work.
We can walk through together, and I'll show you where I find my stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because I'm not trying to quit my job on this or anything, but I would like to. I find serenity in this hobby. Like this hobby has helped me to cope with life, and if I can help somebody else find that same thing, like that's what I'm going for. So
yeah.
I agree.
Eric Miller's here. He says, I'm a big fan of doing whatever the heck you want and not listen to haters. I find it strange how many fantasy fans need your fantasy to fit their fantasy box. That's really weird.
That is a much more succinct way of saying what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, good thoughts and sentiments. But I love the sentence, "That's not my He-Man," because you're right. The He-Man said, though, that the whole message that I got from that was, you have the power. And it was, even as a kid, like you can see, this is an unfinished world. I have some work to do if I'm going to play with these toys. And, that's how I approached it. And it honestly led for me to a career in world creation, because, I did that with my action figures.
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah, the best toys as a kid left room for imagination, right? Like there's so much I can think of that my favorite, like I play with cars a lot, like Matchbox cars and Micro Machines, but also just like G.I. Joes. There was a lot of weird stuff going on that was not explained, that you just had to make up.
Yeah.
That's
well, and like the dumbing down of toys to me, I see it in Lego, because it used to be, Legos were blocks and you put it together and you had to imagine what it was. And now it's like, here's a bouquet of roses that are made out of Legos.
This is my daughter's favorite though. So,
and almost all of those pieces are like, very unique to that set, and they kind of have limited use outside of that set.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I remember like I would go. My parents bowled a lot when I was younger. Like they had, couples like bowling league or whatever, and so we would go down to the nursery that they would have in the basement of the bowling alley, and they just had like a box of Legos, and you would just like mess around with it and see what you could come up with. But there was no instructions
Well,
or box to look at to see like what you could make with it. It was just like, here's a thing full of Legos, and you just, create whatever you can.
So I think I'm done with this back piece.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, let me see.
hold on.
Hang it. Come on now. There we go. That's cool.
Yeah, I think when that's all one color, it'll look really nice.
That's cool.
And if you look at them from the front, you just see those little spikes coming up off the back piece.
Yeah. That is so cool, man. That is really neat.
Thanks.
Pickle D jumped in and says, it's the same for me. I collect and create to go to my happy place. I don't need drama or stress there. There's enough of that in my daily life, for sure. We also have Son of Crayon Slayer here. Welcome.
Son of Crayon Slayer. Love that.
Yeah. He's not Crayon Slayer himself.
No. Yeah. That somewhere out there, there's an account that's like Dad of a Crayon Eater.
Yeah, I can see that.
In doing this view, I want to clean this transition up a little. So more epoxy putty. But I've got like 2 full kits of that on there. I did some aluminum foil buildup, so I don't use as much putty. And so his back cost me $14.
Nice.
Which, for troll, it's not bad. I think I would see a return if I were selling this. I won't, because it's for me, but it's good to think about it. Maybe when Jay gets back on, he'll be horizontal, but I think
I doubt it.
every week he's like, oh, let me fix this. And he just stays that way.
Yeah. I don't know if it's his setup or his phone that he's using. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it always has him sideways.
Which is fitting. Well,
Yeah.
I don't mean that derogatory at all. Just, like that makes sense for him. It works.
Yeah.
When I was
he's definitely different than most.
Yeah, I was reading the Dresden Files, those books, and all I'm reading. I was audiobooking them, and what's interesting is that there's one book where they couldn't get the same audio reader, right? So the whole series, you're used to it sounding a certain way.
Right.
Well, not to have a spoiler, but he dies, and there's one whole book where he's a ghost. And let Jay back in. There's one whole thing where he's a ghost, and because he's in like a ghost world and he's viewing the world as a ghost, it actually fits in that it's a different narrator because it makes the world feel different.
Also, Jay is he's sideways now. He's not up and down.
I fixed it. I don't know. I fixed it before it went on the other time, but it just unfixed itself.
I thought you were going to change your name to Vertical J.
I was gonna open today with a sign that said sideways, but then it seemed funny for only a second.
I now need to take his waist and torso apart so that I can put on a new skirt. And I think I'll do that.
Hey, Rocco's here. He says Detour Spaceship. Absolutely it is.
Detour Spaceship is amazing. Now I guess maybe I'll paint the, no, I want to try painting different reds today because I was asked to do a Fury Orc. I don't use red a ton.
Yeah, that That stuff on the boat, the little Viking ship, that thing is super cool.
Yeah, I need to get that from him. I need to get the other spaceship from him, actually. But I also have, this is the thing I meant to work on too, is I have this torso that Dirk
Mm-hmm.
designed, Dirk
Mm-hmm.
designed, and I
Mm-hmm.
got this from Borderland, which is
Dirt
the
Dirt
bottom.
Designs designed.
Dirk designed. So this is going to be like that, and this is
Mhm.
going to be, I think, ultra cool.
Nice.
Like a tiny little man driving a tank mech. And I'm actually not going to give hands. I have like two little attachments, like it's a gun attachment, and there's like a sort of a gripping attachment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's gonna be kind of badass. Yeah, I need to get that. I need to get that boat. I need to figure out what I want to do with this detailing. Have you painted a Fury Orc, Curtis?
Oh yeah, I've painted several.
What red do you prefer? Do you have one that you prefer? Like, do you paint match it exactly?
Yep. Mephiston red with Evil Sun Scarlet dry brush.
I have
It's
both of
pretty
those
much
things.
spot on.
All right.
I got that from Dennis Derby. Man, I probably was only in the Cabal for like 2 months when I got that paint match, and yeah, I've done that a bunch of times.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how I would do a body that would match this and also be. Wait, okay, Mephiston. I might not have that. Let me see. Yep,
Oh, that's my favorite red, Mephiston red. It's so
got
good.
it. Both of them here. Well, I'm gonna try one a little bit. Try two
Yeah.
ways.
The Evil Suns is more of kind of like an orangish red,
Yeah,
whereas the Mephiston is kind of a straight red.
I like the Evil Suns a lot. I mean, it's better than any of their oranges. Orange is
Mm,
terrible.
yeah.
I want to see if either of the speed paints I have look decent as well, because I have something that I'm just going to use to experiment. Let's see. Because I'm not actually making something for. I have, like, this was something somebody said they might want me to do. I don't even know.
Mm.
Wants me to do it now or not. Apparently Trevor collects a bunch of Fury Orcs.
Yeah, well, Fury anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be an orc.
Oh, well, see, I
Uh,
don't know what.
but a couple years ago at Legion's Con, he must have bought, I don't know, 7 or 8 different customs from people that were all Fury Clan.
That's so interesting.
He tries to get something Fury Clan from just about every artist in the community.
That is what he said to me.
So
Yeah.
What? That's so supportive. I love that.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. I just got blue on the freaking white on here because it was on my hand. I'm dumb.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that terrible thing happened to you, Curtis.
It's all right.
It happens to me a lot with neon paints because I don't realize sometimes that they're still on my hand.
We in Stiltby Studios making costumes and stuff, I charge a 15% white tax. It's more work to keep something white.
Yeah.
And that's because someone hired us to make a werewolf Elvis in the white rhinestone jumpsuit, and keeping that sucker white in the shop was a nightmare.
I know Tanya loves painting in white. I don't have that same mental illness. So
I don't like painting in white. I like dry brushing in white over black and not.
oh yeah.
And only, but then leaving it like that. I do like that. But painting something straight in white is not. I don't think I've ever painted anything white and left it that way.
I
That's
mean,
a
you
lot.
do a lot of zenithal that,
Yeah, like
but
that's what I'm doing here. But I do things that are just black and white, but it's not the same as painting white. Except for
right.
like if I were to leave this like that, I would go
Hmm.
over parts in white, but it's not making just painting like she does like entire torsos in white, and that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, also good for her that she can accomplish that without losing her mind. I couldn't.
Yep. She definitely found that one thing that not many other people want to do. So have at
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it works with the football jerseys too. So
Oh yeah. Sometimes
no,
I make decisions on things on what things to paint certain colors, and then I go, you know what? I just created a lot of work for myself. Yeah.
yep.
It's like I could have painted this all one color, but I was like, no, it'd be cool if I outline it in blue and I did the rest in white. And yeah, no,
Yeah.
just
Or
created a bunch
like
of work.
I'm going to make this yellow or orange. That
Mhm.
is speak about creating too much work for yourself. Oof. And that's kind of the thing. I think if I do like a Fury, even just I don't ever use red. It's literally the color the only color I use less than red is probably gray. But I should,
Really?
and the other thing, so Trevor said maybe he would want to do that eventually. And so I was like, I should practice that. And then Hedgehog asked me to do something that the entire figure would basically be red. Which is, by the way, nice to get to, you should get commissions, but I don't ever use red. So I need to practice figuring out how to make that work with the style that I use. Cause that was also like, make something that's your style, but red.
Hmm.
It's a challenge. I mean, I need a challenge. I need to be challenged. Otherwise, I'm going to make the same crap over and over again. That makes sense.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I just, I don't know, between work and family and YouTube, and I get so little time to paint that I'm not a big fan of commissions because like then I'm doing what somebody else wants and not what I want.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, I get
I
it
don't mind
completely.
like Alan's making that troll. He said, that's for him. I don't mind making something and then selling it when I'm done, but I don't want to make it with the intent to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand. And I have felt that way. I have time now. I don't have like, I don't, I'm not on YouTube. So that's rarely. So that's like not an issue for me. I mean, but it's at this point, and I used to never want to do commissions. And some people just said, a few times, not a ton of times, like Van and Josh Brown asked me to do something. They're like, whatever you want, whatever colors you want. And that's kind of just like staring at something for a long time, trying to figure it out. So this is really the first time somebody gave me sort of like I don't know if vision is the right word, but it'll be cool trying to match that. And, I'm not saying I always want to do it.
Hmm.
I'm not really sure. I mean, to be honest, and this is fine with me. I don't sell it. I really don't sell a ton of customs, and I don't know. There are probably 1,000 different reasons that may or may not be, and it doesn't necessarily matter because everything I've tried to sell, I made for myself,
Hmm.
for the most part. So if somebody wants to commission me to do something, that's cool. And those are also people who bought customs of mine. So I don't know. That just went into a weird rant about me painting, but
Not at all.
I don't know. The people I've sold things to are generally like it's people with like YouTube channels or have stores and not just like somebody in the community. Like a couple of times that's happened. But
Hmm.
I guess
I
if
don't,
you're gonna
I don't think there's anybody who is just someone in the community, because I think you just didn't know who they were or didn't interact in their circle until you got to know them through doing a custom. And I think that if you like, the more you get to know, you know what I mean, people, nobody is just like a person.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course, of
so
course.
interesting, like how interesting people are when you just take that time. And
Yeah, I guess.
that's why I don't like self checkout, because I don't
Bringing it back around.
Yeah, no, I did not mean to imply that people are just,
the great unwashed.
the great unwashed. Good one. I get that reference.
You know, if I was smart, I would be using my masking my tape to mark this off so that I'm not having to keep going back over the same stupid lines over and over again. But yeah, I'm not smart.
Yeah, I don't know what my plan was here.
Masking often falls into the too much work category for me.
Me either. What do
Yeah,
you
but
use?
you
use
also are like you're good at going. That's good enough. And I can't do that.
You use the paint on mask, right? Or are you going to use tape this time?
Well, I've got both for this because it's such a straight line. I would probably use this tape, but I don't know. At this point, I've already done most of it to where I don't know. It's gonna be. I should have started with it, but I didn't.
I don't have good luck with tape. Maybe it's because I'm using the airbrush. It's always paint getting underneath, or
Well, this is the who makes this? Is it Testers or Tamiya? I don't know. It's one of those.
Oh.
It's like for like model cars and stuff.
Yeah, I
So
have the to me, and it's okay. It still didn't work, but again, this might be me because it's for model cars, right? I
yeah.
know. The only thing that's worked for me is the AK has it, but they're in a sheet, so you have to cut it onto shapes. But I use it to airbrush, like I will use it like for a car. I'm doing a custom vehicle, and that's when I really have problems with the bleed because the bleed isn't easy to fix in that scenario.
Yeah.
Let's put this away and see how the other one looks.
Pickle D says, I like to gift my creations to people I like, but I don't want to sell it. It feels too much like work.
Yeah, man, I get it. Totally. It's stressful to try to sell something and then be like, am I going to sell it? Or I would give everything away if somebody wanted it and it was easier for me to do it. It's nice to make money to buy more things to paint. Really, that's all it comes down to.
The ones that I've made that are like based on something from when I was a kid, I tend to not like to sell those. But the ones that I make just because I want to make something, then I'm not as attached to it.
That's interesting. I have not made a bunch of things. I guess that's the same with me, but I've only done a few things like that would fit under that category of kind of like a tribute to,
Yeah. Like I've done last year, I did a bunch of DC ones where I, took a lot of McFarlane stuff and then modified it to like the colors that I wanted that reminded me of like Superpowers or Super Friends from when I was a kid. And like those I would probably never sell.
Yeah.
But like if I just made a, Cosmic Legion thing or a knight or an orc or something, like I don't know. I don't really care. I could sell that. Sometimes I just need to get it out of my system. I need to see it created, and then after I see it created, it's like, okay, now I can part with it.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of times I think I don't want to sell something, and then I realize that it's fine. I took pictures of it, so I have like a document of it existing. And then I don't have a ton of space for it.
You extracted the joy of from making it, not from owning it.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that ice crab that I just finished. It's like I wanted to see what that would look like, but then once it was made, it's like, okay, now I can get rid of it.
Did you sell it?
I will. I haven't
Did you
yet, but I will.
did you ever sell that like the Snake Man tribute you did?
I don't. Uh,
Does
I don't think.
that
I think I
categorize
actually. I think I did. I think I sold it at Legion's Con.
that doesn't fall into the category of like a tribute to something from when you were a kid?
It was a tribute, but it wasn't one that I was attached to enough. It was really more of a one of the.
Curtis thinks
Let's
the
see if I
Snake
can
Man
do it.
sucks.
Yeah. Once I saw the Ninian body, I was like, oh, I want to make a Cobra Khan. Just one of those things where I was like, I need to get this out of my system, kind of thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing with Lockheed, except for I wanted to keep it, but I needed to get wings first, so that took me a little bit longer. Or I guess I had wings, I just didn't start it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that a lot. That head never became available. I remember seeing that. I think that's the first custom I noticed that you had done or I had noticed the custom and didn't realize it was you who had done it, but I really liked it. And then I was waiting for Wolf King to release that. Never happened. I really
Yeah,
like
I don't
making
know why he
snakes.
never. I mean, I know it's kind of got a unique fit to it, but I don't know why he never released that. But then, that was also when everything was changing and he was starting to work for the studio and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, of course. That was a cool head though.
Oh, yeah.
But people did start, I feel like that was the first snake head I may have seen
Mm.
for the Ninian. But those, more and more have come out.
Well, and that he actually had sculpted that long before, the
Len
Ninian
sculpted
body
it?
was out. In fact, he had already sent it to me. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he sculpted it or if he bought the file and modified it. I
Yeah, the
know
kid
it
bashed it.
wasn't like one that, the meal did or anything like that. But he sent it to me probably a few months before Legion's Con.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that Ninian body, when I saw it at Legion's Con, I was like, ooh, I got the perfect head for this at home. So
That's awesome. That's become my favorite body to paint. To
it's
this
got
day.
a lot of texture. It's a fun one.
I'm lying. It's my second favorite body to paint. But
Oh, all right.
the first will
I can
is
never
always going
trust
to
you
be.
again.
I was so
It's the
deceived.
tusk.
I
I know. The tusk. The tusk. Will always be my favorite.
They're fun too.
The gray one because I don't like the legs on the white one, and I constantly forget which one's which, and I just want to call them all the engineer, and that's very wrong because that's the female figure. But
Yeah, the science officer is the white one, and the sentry is the gray one.
the sentry, yeah, the sentry. I like the legs a lot better, but
the new Phantom Trooper that one's a really good one because it's got the black for the joints, which is nice.
Yeah, and I wish I could get that for the same price that I could get a like a Legion builder.
That's true. It is a little bit more pricey.
I so I was able to get 2 engineers and a sentry for $25 from Borderland yesterday, which was fantastic because they don't have those on the website, and they didn't have them at the I don't know if they're gonna have them at all for a while at the conventions. The Horseman.
Oh, really?
They didn't have it yesterday, but their supply was limited and kind of random.
I have a question for you, Jay, since you were there. Did you see any trolls at the ZoloCon Mythic Legion?
They were selling trolls at they had 2 I don't remember, they had the ice troll maybe and another one.
Yeah, I think all they have right now is Brontus and the ice troll.
That may be. I wasn't paying attention to which ones they were because they were up a little bit higher, and I was like online focusing very much on what I wanted to get that was useful and not really remembering what body types I wanted, because I really wanted 2.0 figures and they didn't really have anything other than the nymph and Beru, whatever, the Necronominus's daughter,
Belualith.
Belualith, yeah. Which are
Belualith. Belualith. Sorry.
That made me laugh out loud. I was hoping to get something a little bit less expensive than either of those, at least, but it's fine. I wound up getting a nymph. You know what I did? Actually, I got the nymph intending to get two, and instead I got two of what's his name? The
Warrior Revenant.
what the Sir Valgard.
Oh,
It's a very different figure to have than
slightly, yeah.
yeah. But it was cool to see the the non-exclusive versions like in hand before they went up on the website. I guess I don't know. I also forgot that it wasn't a non-exclusive, and I was online. I'm gonna get this because it has two sets of legs, and they're like, no, it doesn't. I was like, oh, that's right. That's a good story, right?
Very.
Roller coaster from start to finish.
Yeah, no. It starts with me being stupid, and it ends with me feeling slightly embarrassed, but not that much. Just like really, it's like an average interaction for me. So like, it's just like what happened with me then speaking live on camera.
It's one of my favorite things I ever heard about. I heard I guess my second favorite. Overhear a parent that I don't know to their child, and this kid's like 4, and the mom goes, "If you cared more, you'd be more embarrassed."
Wow.
Wow.
I think one of my favorite things that I heard a parent say to a child, I'm at a park with my kids, and this one kid like shoved his sister down or something, like just pushed her.
Yeah.
And his mom just yells, "Inappropriate."
That's straight to the point.
I didn't want to laugh, but I couldn't help it. Like, she just inappropriate.
She gave it all the
That sounds like
syllables.
Yeah.
It sounds like the bare minimum in lecturing your child about that behavior.
Yeah. I don't know. I giggled. She gave me a look. I'm like, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that.
I wish I had a story like that. I'm oddly jealous that I don't have any kind of a story to match that.
Me and my here's my favorite. We were in like a Dollar Tree, so it's not like a nice store, but we're looking at stuff. There's this horde of children who were very poorly behaved, and it's so poorly behaved. It's amusing because thank goodness they're not your children,
Right.
And we hear from the other aisle over, "You kids is bad. You ain't getting shit." We will say that to each other every now and then, just for no reason, because it was so memorable.
Oh, that's great. It's weird the things that stay with you.
Yeah.
There was Jerry Springer. He had like a security guard or whatever that worked for him that like then
Steve
went and did his own show, Steve Wilkos show. Yeah. And and there was like a commercial for it. And like this one lady came out and she was significantly overweight, but she dressed as if she wasn't.
Yeah.
And she had a lot of self-confidence. And she came out and was talking about how good she looked and how everybody, thinks that she's hot and all this kind of stuff. And this other lady stands up in the crowd and they give her the mic and she goes, "Somebody lied to you, girl." And I don't know why, but just every now and then, like when I see somebody dressed like where they shouldn't, like they don't have a good idea of what they look like when they walked out of the house, I just think to myself, "Somebody lied to you, girl."
And there's a commercial that was on when I was a kid. It was I realize now, like looking back, it was for the Phantom of the Opera musical. Like I grew up in like Baltimore area, so we would get Broadway commercials every now and then.
Mhm.
And at the end of the commercial, there's this lady and she says, "I laughed, I cried, it was better than Cats."
Yep,
And
I remember that.
so if I enjoy something, I say, "I laughed, I cried, it was better than Cats."
Well, nothing horrified me more than the commercial for cats as a child. That was a horrifying commercial.
All the anthropomorphic cats dancing around.
Yeah, it really freaked me out.
I
They
would
look
just,
sad and weird and oof, man.
yeah, they do seem very sad. They should be happier cats.
Right? A bunch of sad adults dressed as cats, like moping, is not anything I was interested in seeing as a child.
And now there's whole conventions built around that.
It's insane. Like cats specifically,
Oh, furries.
furries. That was my second guess.
And they're
Um,
sad adults who dress like cats.
That's true. Yeah, they're a fascinating world. Whatever
It
works
is.
for you, I suppose.
Different strokes.
Yep. Great television show.
What you talking about, Will?
That was my first band was named Willis. My only band is what I should say.
I had a band when I was in high school. and
That
it
was when I had it.
It was called Kryptonite, and I was a terrible drummer, and I was supposed to be the drummer, and we had a lead singer who we got to like our first like party, like kids party we were playing, and he was like, I can't do it. Like there's too many people, and I can't do it. So he played the drums and I sang, and I was also bad at singing, but I was. Somebody lied to me, girl. So I had confidence. So I could get through it, and like I did it, and you know, we did a couple things, and I'm like, this isn't what I wanted to do, and I don't think I would even enjoy what I wanted to do. Now I know this is not for me.
So the band that I was in was supposed to be an instrumental ska band, and I was playing saxophone with my friend, and that wasn't fun. And it was disorganized, and he thought he could write saxophone parts, and he couldn't. And they wanted to play heavier music, but then if you want to guess what I eventually wound up doing in my band, you may not be able to guess it.
Tambourine.
No, I was the singer.
You were the singer?
Which is the most unlike me. Yeah, that like led up to like a cliff, like it was a cliffhanger. But yeah, that was the most unlike me thing to possibly do. But no, we were like a punk band, so I just screamed at the top of my lungs. And during our first show, I passed out and fell off the stage.
Awesome.
Not because I was nervous. I was overheated and under I didn't have enough to like water, and I
Dehydrated.
screamed really, really hard. Like really hard.
We get haunt actors who will pass out because they scream too hard and it makes them black out. It's not uncommon.
Wow. I've
Yeah.
seen that with those like those people that they have on like the slingshot rides where they shoot them up in the air and stuff, and they'll like pass out, they'll like scream and then pass out and then wake up and scream and pass out.
Yeah.
and I know I shouldn't laugh, but it's too fucking funny not to.
Dude, I
You
don't
should
understand why anybody would do that.
Okay.
There's nothing in the world that is less appealing to me than that kind of a ride.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem.
I was when I was in Vegas, I did this like tour around the city, this open top bus tour, and I put it in my one of my videos for Vegas. But they've got this one thing that's like kind of like the Space Needle in Seattle, but it's similar to that, the building.
Yeah.
And they've got one thing where you can like do this thing where it swings you around the top of the building, like it like on the outside. And then they've got another part where you can actually jump off the side of the building and like plummet like, I don't know, 850 feet. It's like, no, I don't know. Why would I want to do that?
Right. I mean, I have like, like I have a phobia of falling, which I guess is different than heights. So I'm fine in an airplane, but I can't open air even like on the 6th floor of a building, like on a fire escape is very hard for me to manage.
Mhm.
Something like that is terrifying to me. Like somewhere in like the absolute most primal parts of my brain, that absolutely scares the hell out of me.
I don't even see the attraction. Like, I don't know. I don't see why you'd want to do that.
So
No.
my wife and I were married in 2004,
Uh-huh.
and for our honeymoon, we went to Vegas,
Mhm.
and my wife wanted to ride that ride where you're up on top of that building and they tip you over and you're like face down looking at the ground.
Yeah.
And I've worked at a lot of amusement parks, and I know that building was not engineered with that ride in mind. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't part of the plan.
Right.
So there's different.
They
there's
modified it to make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different stresses on the building, that they did not intend. And I'm like, I'm not going to ride it. And if I become a widower, I'm going to own Las Vegas from the lawsuits that I will give. She did make it out okay.
So if
She
they built something specifically for the idea of doing that, you wouldn't have had a problem. But the fact that it came
I would
after
not
the fact
I
is
would
the
not
issue.
have wrote it because I would not have enjoyed it. There's a trade show called IAAPA, International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions. And it's a trade it's where Disney and Universal go shopping. It's where all theme parks, family entertainment centers go buy stuff. And they pick designers for their rides and that kind of thing. So I've been there and I've been to classes on ride safety. Like if you go to like a carnival or a state fair and you see a ride like it's like a portable roller coaster, you'll see that there's screw jack feet that have blocks of wood under it. Those blocks of wood shift, and then the ride can shift, and
and then people get launched into space.
Yeah, 29 times out of 30, it's fine. But every now and then, it causes a big problem, like someone dies. So Anyway,
I would classify that as a big problem.
I watched too many safety videos to go on that ride and enjoy it. So, and I don't think I would enjoy it anyway, but I didn't, and that's the moral of the story.
Yeah, if I'm going to be careening like at a crazy fast speed, I want the steering wheel. Like that's how I feel about a roller coaster. Like I don't want to not. If I don't drive like an insane person, I definitely have when I was younger, probably driven in very unsafe, unfortunately, and survived. Not like not like crazy, like I wasn't like racing, but I don't want to not be. It freaks me out.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't like driving. I don't like being in somebody else's car if they're an aggressive driver and riding shotgun.
Yeah, I don't like if I'm in a vehicle, I want to be the one behind the wheel. So I totally get the shame. We had Blake jumped in, says happy Sunday to everyone. And then Trevor says, I love that kind of stuff. I did skydiving once. I'd love to do it again, but my wife is basically forbidden it. So
smart wife.
Yeah.
Skydiving horrifies me as well, obviously.
Then Blake asked if I was talking about the Stratosphere ride, and yes, Sam, that's what I was talking about.
I will say, I love Vegas so much. And not even for all the obvious Vegas things you think of. Like last time I was in Vegas, I had been selected to go from work. I feel like I may or may not have told this story here, but I went with my daughter is the point. And we just did like eating and just hanging out and going to pools. And man, that place is crazy. It's just, I don't know why I'm saying that. Like nobody's been there, but even to go like with a kid and like be up, like the fact that nobody goes, it's just so wild. There's no rules. I love it. It's a place for me, and it's in the desert.
My favorite part of Vegas is when you get on the airplane to go home. And here's why. Because you realize when you're in Vegas, there's always a bell ringing somewhere. There's so much noise that is designed to get your attention. And then when I get on the airplane, because even in the airport, they got slots and they're noisy. And I get on the airplane, everybody's kind of quiet. And it's like my brain just kind of unwinds from the tension that has been manufactured by all the noise.
Yeah, I get that.
So I feel like the opposite. It's like the whole trip is a dopamine rush, and then you get on the plane and it's like gone.
That depends on the type of ADD you have.
Right, exactly. Of course, that's what I was going to say. Well, it depends on how you're wired. I learned that I was wired different than how I thought by going to Vegas.
Does caffeine make you sleepy or hype you up?
Hype me up.
Yeah.
There's so much in front of me. I can't remember what I want to do next.
Trevor, you are my people. That is how I feel also.
He says, my favorite part of Vegas is leaving. 24 hours is my limit. Okay. I really enjoyed it. I think that now that I've seen it, I would like to probably at some point go back with Darla just to like do stuff with her there. But it's not something that I would need to go to on a regular basis. Like I know my parents, when I was younger, they would go like every year or every other year. It's like, I don't need to do that. But
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go regularly, but I don't know how to explain. It's just such anarchy, and it's allowed everywhere, and everybody's part of the anarchy. And like, I don't gamble. I don't have any urge to gamble at all.
Mhm.
In fact, the other time I went was for a bachelor party, and we did bachelor party stuff. But like, I definitely enjoyed just being up in the middle of the night and wandering, and just being kind of like a total. I'm so sorry. I'm also looking at these feet and figuring out which side is which, and I lost that sentence. I'm the type of person who likes to be up all night and just have like completely disassociated from like the time that people are supposed to be awake and like all of that stuff. So
mhm.
there's a word that I can't find right now. I'm gonna mute myself real quick. One, because I'm saying nonsense and nobody needs to hear it, and two, because I want to put these legs together.
Okay. I tell you what, just hanging out with Jay is an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it really is.
I appreciate that.
That's true.
Just unmuting myself to point out that it's much less fun for me.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
We got Michael Casper jumped in, says hello. What's up, sir? Pickle D says, I've been to Vegas maybe 15 times. I loved every single time. There you go. Different strokes.
So I just put a color on this. So far, I hate it.
Oh, all right.
But we're going to keep going. We're going to commit to the bit and see what happens. I think I'm going to ink this whole thing in like an emerald green anyway. So I'll kind of change a little.
I was working on an exploded review for the 2-pack, the Dwarf 2-pack, the Exiles Under the Mountain. And I was trying to get it all done before we painted today. And I opened it up, took everything out, exploded everything. And then it got very clear that there was no way I was going to finish putting it all back together beforehand. So then I had to like carefully move everything from this area that I paint in, because this is also where I do my reviews, to a different area so I could paint. And then after I'm done here, I got to move all of it back and make sure I set it up in exactly the same way so I can then continue with the rest of the video.
Gotcha.
So that was a long story with really no purpose, but I think Jay's rubbing off on me.
Didn't you have that last week where you were doing the same thing?
No, last week we didn't do anything.
That's right.
Yeah, we canceled last week. But the week before I was going to do the bear, and I didn't start beforehand because I knew we were going to have to paint. So yeah. So that one I did wait, but and then after I get done with the Exiles, then I will work on the scapular figure, which is Michael Casper's tribute, which is, I think, where that story was coming from. So. Because I did a poll in the Cabal, and they said the vote came out: Exiles next, then Scapular, and then Dispatar. So
I voted for Scapular.
they
I
will
do
be the
not have
next
anything
3.
from that wave. That is the figure I want the most.
Well, after I finish the Exiles, he will be next. So I'm going to mute to use the heat gun.
Scapular is such a Motu type name. I love it because isn't he bony?
Yeah.
And so he's named after a scapula. I love
They're
that.
All of them have, it's amazing that all of them have these names that they're almost like kind of puns. Like they're not necessarily
yeah.
silly, but it makes me think like these are all, so many of them are like Necronominus's children. And I kind of like, part of me feels like Necronominus, he's like dad humor.
Like a failed comedian.
He's
So he
like
became a tyrant.
Pelvicus. Yeah, name your kid Pelvicus. I guess Pelvicus is just not one of his kids, but somebody in his army.
That's such a gloriously silly name.
I love it. I love that so much. Let's see. Everything I need is far away from me.
It's like life.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a really deep. This is my deep metaphor. It's an accident.
That was out loud, huh? I didn't mean that.
You read my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking. But I stepped away, and I was going to say that's the metaphor for my life, but I wasn't sure how close I was for that to be heard. I have to mute myself again. So talk to yourself. I guess I'm so sorry. We'll blame Curtis because I went on mute.
It's all right.
So.
He tagged me. I'm back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Michael says, "Explode me." That is the plan, sir. That is the plan.
I'm painting the edges of this guy's armor now.
Yeah.
I definitely have to knock this back and bring it into the world of green again, but I thought it needed some highlight, but it's too much. If you have a thought that's wrong, you know it's wrong. Is it still wrong?
Wrong, like incorrect, or wrong, like morally?
Incorrect, because you still, like, it's just the wrong thing was just a step to doing the right thing.
I don't know. I don't think you can be wrong based on thoughts. I think you're wrong based on actions.
Well, yeah, but I had the thought, I painted the color, so I did the action.
Then yes. Then yes, you're wrong. But if it leads, sometimes you get the happy accidents and it leads to something even better than what it would have been, originally. So
yeah, I almost always take the risk. Should I do this? Should I do it? Do the extra step. And you're probably capable enough to fix it if you screw it up.
I would much rather make an incorrect decision than no decision.
And an incorrect decision with the proper backing and fortification can become the right decision.
Allow me to quote Teddy Roosevelt directly. The best decision is the right decision. The second best decision is the wrong decision. And the worst decision is the making no decision at all. I'm going to go away again.
I love that he gets inspired to speak every now and then and has to jump in.
And he just comes in for trivia and then takes off.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that color was more orangey, but it seems like it's more buff.
So I am getting close to hitting a wall. So we got 10 more minutes till 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna cut it off there. So just as a FYI,
Okay.
little heads up. I've been sitting in this one spot for 6 hours now between the exploded review and this, so I need to stretch my legs and get something to eat, and yeah, all that. But tomorrow I'm off work and I plan on working on the studio, which is a complete disaster right now. So, in fact, I will. Let's in big in me. Maybe not. There we go. Let's see. Let me unhook this. Put that cord right in the water because that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got let's see, 2 Rising Suns boxes of
Whoa.
retailer appreciation that I've got to put away. Still got some Cosmic Legions down there need to be put away. A whole bunch of parts that need to be sorted. Stuff down here that needs to be sorted. Over here, I got my heads and all my other parts and all the different projects that I'm supposed to be working on. And here's the rest of my desk. So, yeah, and here's my airbrush station, which is why I can't airbrush right now. So, yeah, I got a lot of work to do to get things organized this week. But I am off work tomorrow and I'm off work Wednesday. So, hopefully, I can get that stuff cleaned up and it'll make me feel a lot better about being in this studio.
Yeah. You said something the other day that was, along these lines, but I think the state of your desk, your work area reflects the state of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can clean it up and come into a space that is, ready to accept you and ready for work, like that's what you want.
Yeah, I've definitely found for me, if I start feeling overwhelmed and I start feeling stressed out, I will just make a list of like everything that I need to do, and I'll include like super small things that probably shouldn't be put on a list because the dopamine that you get from checking something off that list starts to make you feel better and want to do more stuff on the list. So yeah, that's what I will be doing.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right. I'm going to mute again. So hopefully Jay comes back.
I did. I am back.
Oh, there you go. We're tagging out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I was gonna say that I'm jealous of your problem, your frustrating problem of having too many figures from New Waves, because I have none.
Well,
but you don't hear me because you're muted.
See, I was happy because I bought a case of the 200X Beastman.
Yeah,
I like that body.
Wow. Yeah. This doesn't surprise me.
I'm going through a couple iterations of that. Like it was either work on the Umber Hulk, which is already underway, or start a 200X Red Beastman because Red Beastman's my favorite. He's kind of like my Lockheed for you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that other people have something like that and they default to a character.
And so that was. But also, I might see that much as work.
And I'm back.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, I'm just throwing this out there, but if anybody is looking for a Sir Valgar 2, like the non-exclusive version, and has any figures from this wave that they're willing to trade, I don't know if that's a thing for anyone, but I happen to have one that I bought, an extra that I bought accidentally.
Are you sure it's non-exclusive?
It doesn't have the extra legs. So it's
You're
the one that it's not the
you're positive
version. What?
You're positive it doesn't have the extra legs.
Yes, they were selling it. I'm positive because not only am I looking at it now, and I opened one, but also it was said to me out loud when I said I'm buying this because I want the extra legs.
Oh, I just think that's interesting because they have not sold that figure yet. Like that's not something that's been available for anybody to purchase.
Right. Yeah, they had they had that, and they had the nymph without the extra heads as well.
That is interesting as well.
Yeah, it was weird to
because
buy
that
it
stuff is
before it
not
went on.
going up in the in stock until April. So basically, people that are at the con are able to buy that before anybody else. That's interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, is anybody looking for this? If you're like, like a dwarf person or whatever, um, and you need an extra one, and you have, I, I don't know if there's a preference. I know I really like a scapula. I know that's very popular, and people don't have extras of those. But message me on the Cabal, or message me on Facebook, not on the Cabal. Throwing it out there.
I'm gonna do like a deep green ink wash on this guy to make him
Mhm.
darker and a little more emerald, but pretty happy with him.
Very cool.
Wow. Oh man, those eyes are wild, and those are mandibles, right?
Yeah,
Wow. Amazing, dude. Amazing.
thanks.
Yeah, that
I
is
mean,
that
you
is
really
super
make me
cool.
want to sculpt a lot. I imagine it's a lot easier on a troll, at least to start.
Yeah, like I'll sculpt like Beastman heads and stuff, and the Etten heads were pretty small, and I sculpted them to be 2 bad heads.
That's cool. That's right. Yeah, I need to get back trying that. I tried, and it was a while ago, and it was a huge fail. And I kept on saying eventually I'll get back to it. Maybe it's close to that time.
Yeah, there's things like if you use the wrong material, you'll never want to do it again, because it's a nightmare, it's a mess. But if you have the right material and you have a little bit of experience with it going in, I think just sculpting on the figures it's great when I 3D model something in Blender and then I print it, like that's cool, like the head. But I could make this head and send it to anybody, you know. Now they're going to paint it different, of course, probably better. But no one's going to have a back exactly like mine because I sculpted that by hand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And I think for me, I tried sculpting so new into customizing to begin with that made a huge difference in me kind of having trouble understanding how to do it. And I
Yeah.
still can't anything symmetrical I can't do at all. But this is what I was putting together, and I the loin. Like I took the loin off to put this back because I wanted this
Can you
flex
move
and I
it
can't
more
find it.
over the bike so we can see it better?
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that you called me out on that because I'm not standing up and looking through my phone. Is that good enough? I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go. So you can't see the color shift on this at all, I don't think.
I can
What is
see
this?
the legs are plum and the upper body is like a emerald blue. No, like a sapphire blue.
Yeah, so
Yes, I
this
see it.
will shift to like that plum underneath.
Yeah.
So I dry brushed over this. Which with certain Turbodor paints, if something is you can do it with any Turbodor paint, but if you have something that's really that the sculpt really has like something that really rises, there's a better term for that. It can look really amazing. This is something that they published on their blog that had me start to try it, but I love how this came out. So I just got the head that matches because I'd done the torso a while ago, so I'm excited to finish it.
Looks great.
Thank you. It's a crazy sculpt. This is Borderland Horde, by the way. I should have pointed out, but the sculpt is amazing. Gian Art does some wild stuff.
All right. Well, I think it's about that time to start showing off where we are. So I will go ahead and start. Let's see. Worked on like these blue parts on the legs and arms. I think that's getting about to the point where I want it. So that's good. Worked on the trim on this. Still have a little bit of touch up work to do, but it's getting close. And then I'll put all the little rivets on here. I'm going to do gold, which once again I'm creating a whole lot of extra work for myself, but it is what it is. And worked a little bit on this head, and I think I've worked on the green parts here, and they're pretty much ready to go at this point. I think that's about it. So I still got a lot of work to do, but that's where I'm at. I will go to Alan next.
So this is my Umber Hulk. I think I have a dark green wash to do over the whole thing yet. And then I'll probably call him done.
Love it.
Very cool.
The grid eyes are great.
Yeah, I love the back on there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is super neat.
I think it
Good
ties
job.
in. It ties in better to the head now and
Oh
feels
yeah.
more Umber Hulky.
Feels like it ties in with the lower arms as well.
Yeah.
All right, and we will go to Jay.
So I thought I would get something more specific done, but not really. But I have this dry brush, so I'm going to paint this, and it'll look to go with this body with that one paint, which is Turbo Dork Fey Wilds, I think. Yes, Fey Wilds. And I used Mephiston Red to find, I didn't dry brush this yet, but that's to figure out the inferior colors. I use speed paint, 2 different reds, and they don't. This lighter one kind of works.
Over the
but
bike, move it into frame.
There
It's
you
like
go.
I'm sorry. So this is the Mephiston Red. And this is 2 different speed paints, and they don't really work as well. Other
I mean, it
than
looks
that,
cool. It just doesn't match the Fury stuff.
yeah, and I could dry brush this probably and mess around with it and make it, work. This is a fun head to kind of mess with because there's like a wild amount of texture in it. So
Yeah.
and I didn't get to the other stuff I kind of planned on doing. I don't even know what else I did. So I did stuff. I was painting, so that's weird.
There you go. Did want to just quickly touch on one thing, just because this is a customizing studio and show people. So as I'm finishing, I did take my my sheet off my wet palette, and I put a new one on there. And then I will, after we're done here, I'm also going to clean the brushes that I was using. I use the Masters cleaner, which some of the label is worn off on here, but so yeah, water and Masters cleaner. I'll clean all those brushes. So while my whole work area might not be in great shape, I always make sure at least my brushes are cleaned before I leave, because we don't want to be somebody that ruins our brushes, right, Alan?
That's right. Right.
There you go. Well, Jay and Alan, I appreciate you guys being on with me. You guys got anything coming up that you want to promote? Any shows or anything going on?
Sure. Today, actually, maybe it's dropped already. MinMax dropped, which is a group of YouTubers playing D&D who they shot at Dark Hour, and I built the set. So you maybe just pop on and look at it. You can see the set that we built for them, which we're very proud of, and that has led to a bunch of other D&D stuff that we're doing.
Beautiful. Awesome. What about you, Jay?
I don't have anything necessarily coming up at all, but I did forget to show one thing that I did. Which
Sure.
is just I was working on like trying to figure out a body, and I had put this together while I was muted as well, really quickly. I don't know, this is like hard to show, but
Oh, that's cool.
This is so it's like it can't really be a monk exactly. It's gonna have armor on it, but I'm gonna do like a space, because the articulation with this together
A little bit higher.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. So you could get
Over the bike is
almost
perfect.
almost like a Spider-Man pose. And this is something the stuff that I customize, I can't do really very dynamic posing. So I'm hoping to kind of figure that out with this. And this I'd probably make for myself. Gotta find this kneecap though.
That build feels like it came directly from your brain.
Well, but you could do it. The build was just this for a very long time, and this could come from anybody's brain. And then my brain.
I don't know that could.
What?
I don't know that it could.
Really?
That's
This is pretty
more
simple.
normal than throwing that head on it, dude. That's
Do you know
Yeah.
what I did? Do you know what I did also? We were talking about that vampire that I put together, like the last show at the
Mhm.
very end, and you guys were kind of like, whatever build I had, you guys all said had looked good. So I did finish this.
Oh wow.
It's a
Great.
little shiny, but this is the closest thing I've ever made, probably to something that could actually fit into Mythos.
Can you turn it up and down? No, like facing us, but like instead of side to side, up and down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, dude, that thing
That's
that's killer.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
That
This
is
is-
really cool.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
I don't, this is the most silver I've ever used. And you know, it looks so good with this very metallic purple. And then this does have a color shift only on this, just I couldn't not do a color shift paint on this because it just has that perfect texture for it. And it's so interesting to paint black and gloss it instead of using like a matte finish, because that's really
Yeah.
what you have to do for the vampires. I can't find the actual hand this is supposed to have, and I had this weird pink hand, but I think this is
Right.
probably done.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
do more vampires. I think that's going to be a thing I'm gonna do. Enjoyed making this.
Well, that's very cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Thank you.
awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thanks to everybody that was watching live, as anybody watching on replay. And we will see you back here next week for Customizing Studio episode number 6. And until then, keep creating, folks.
Hooray.